It's no secret I like anime. What are you gonna do about it, pussy? Huh? You wanna fight about it? What are you gonna do? Give me a wedgie in the locker room or some shit? A little wet willy? You can't. I'm a goddamn adult. I can like anime without your permission. There's only two types of people in this world. People that watch anime and liars. And I've seen a lot of goddamn anime in my life, but I tell ya, the SpongeBob anime that just came out is probably one of the best I've ever seen. Easily the best of the season. So I just wanted to dive in here and just digest some of this with you.
A Narmak animation.
So the first arc here, the Bubble Bass arc, one of the favorites from the cartoon, has been adapted into anime thanks to Narmak Animation, and right away you know you're getting quality. Narmak is like the Studio Ghibli of SpongeBob anime adaptations. He only knows how to make bangers.
店長、大丈夫ですか？
来たか、スポンジボブ。
カーニバーガーがやばいと聞いて急いで来ました。何があったんですか？
Now, I find it highly unlikely there's anyone watching right now that hasn't seen the SpongeBob cartoon, though I do imagine a lot of you haven't read the manga. There's massive differences between the cartoon and the anime. It follows more closely in line with the manga, which is a sacred text up there with the Bible. So you're going to notice a couple of differences in terms of how the characters act in this anime compared to the cartoon. So just prepare yourself.
奴は5つのピクルスのことすら知っていた。闇のバーガーに潜む秘密を封じるためにわしが作ったレシピ。その存在を知る者ですらもうこの世。
As you would expect from the Bubble Bass arc, we will be focusing on the Forbidden 5 Pickled Patty. And to the readers of the SpongeBob manga, I'm just going to go ahead and hit you with the cold water right now and force feed you your vegetables, give you the bad news. This is unfortunately not going to have the copious amounts of nudity and full penetrative sex that the SpongeBob manga is known for. This is a YouTube anime adaptation, so Narmak had to unfortunately cut out some beloved arcs from the manga, such as the Sandy spread cheeks and just beautiful content like that. But even though that's not going to be making an appearance in the SpongeBob anime, it's still extremely good.
すでにイカルドを向かわせている。何としても奴がクラゲ草原を出る前に取り戻さねば。
向かわせた。一人で行かせたんですか？そんなの死にに行くようなものじゃないですか。
それでも、あれはあのレシピだけは奪われてはならないのだ。
Mr. Krabs was faced with an impossible decision. After giving his all to stop Bubble Bass's rampage at the Krusty Krab, he had to make the painful choice to send Mr. Squidward after Bubble Bass to try and stop and retrieve what was lost. Mr. Squidward's no fucking idiot, alright? Mr. Squidward knew that this was likely a suicide mission, but still, he accepted it because he knew he was fighting for something bigger than himself. I wouldn't be surprised if Mr. Squidward was the one who volunteered to go after Bubble Bass and Mr. Krabs tried to stop him.
この職場がどういうところか知ってて今までやってきた。スポンジボブよ。いつかお前も真実を知る日が来る。あの闇のパティの秘密とお前自身の真実を。そしてわしが全てをかけてでもお前を守ってきた理由を。
Unfortunately, SpongeBob doesn't quite grasp what he means to Mr. Krabs. Mr. Krabs has always put SpongeBob's life ahead of his, ahead of even money in certain scenarios. And SpongeBob going on this reckless mission to try and save Mr. Squidward has really put Mr. Krabs in between a rock and a hard cock here. He knows he can't go and stop SpongeBob, and he knows he can't just let Mr. Squidward die. His soul is tearing in half, and you can really feel it thanks to the incredible voice work here. 'The SpongeBob anime has always had amazing intros with high quality boner jams and a lot going on. Like even just this opening right here tells an incredibly compelling story about friendship and what happens when a friend goes down a different path than you. It is just extremely powerful with an incredible intro, and I just wanted to make note of that.
SpongeBob!
サンディ、イカルド。
最後に見かけたのはあの岩のあたりだと思うけど。
戦っているのか？じゃあなんであなたたちはここで見ているだけなんですか？
それはイカルドが来るなって言って。
あやつは自分の名誉のために戦っている。
Unsurprisingly, Squidward asked both Patrick and Sandy not to interfere in his fight. Squidward's always been a character with a very strong sense of morals and his own personal code, which he always abides by. And he's always put the safety of others first in fighting for the greater good. He's not afraid to put a clarinet up his asshole if that's what the situation calls for. He is just a completely selfless character from the manga, which very much differs from his portrayal in the cartoon, unfortunately. Now, I was a little bit surprised that Sandy didn't interfere, because Sandy's always said, you know what, fuck pride, fuck honor, it does no good, it just gets you hurt. Patrick, I'm not shocked. You know, Patrick has always been a character that's been very much ingrained in this belief that one has to abide by their code in order to be a man. So Patrick not going down there to help makes sense. I just feel it might be a little out of line for Sandy's character, but for Patrick, I totally get it. And for a lot of fans of the cartoon, this may be very jarring to see Patrick this serious, but he's always been this serious. In fact, it's almost an injustice what they did to Patrick in the cartoon. But I understand why they dumbed him down for the cartoon, because he was just a bit overpowered in the manga. So I absolutely get it, but it's lovely to see him in a return to form here. Fills me with jubilation to see the noble Patrick Star Samurai in full glory here in the anime again.
大切なものを守れる強さ、絶望に立ち向かう勇気、イカルドは確かめようとしているのだ。自分にもその強さ。
そんなくだらないこと本気で信じてるんですか？あなたたち二人が強いことは僕が誰よりも知っています。そんな強いお二人がイカルドの勇気やらプライドやらって言葉を鵜呑みにして見殺しにしたと言うんですか？フレンドの F はどこ行ったんですか？
スポンジボブ
Oh, that line, what happened to F is for friends. That is the powerful kind of writing you can come to expect from the SpongeBob anime. So fucking good, so profound. SpongeBob was able to just throw this whole idea of honor and pride right on its head and say, you know what? What good is it when, as friends, we just let a friend die? What happened to F is for friends? One of the most powerful quotes I've heard in anime. This is up there with the bone of my sword. People die when they're killed. It's one of the best.
でも
スポンジボブとイカルドはいわば同じコインの表と裏。二人とも拙者を震わせるほどの何かを秘めている。そしてあの何とも言えぬ顔がまたかっこいい。予言では醜い怪人が全てに死をもたらすと言っていただろう。大丈夫、奴らは違う。二人ともかっこいいから。
The wise sea star sage speaks. He's of course talking about the ugly barnacle prophecy, which I'm sure we're all familiar with. Even if you've only seen the cartoon, I'm sure you've at least heard of the ugly barnacle prophecy. It's a very popular one up there with the Mayan calendar 2012 shit. And Patrick Star is reassuring both Sandy and the viewer that both Squidward and SpongeBob are just far too attractive to be subject to that omen. Sandy was on the breaking point. She had just watched Squidward march to his inevitable demise at the hands of the malicious Bubble Bass, and now she just watched her best friend SpongeBob fucking cliff dive here doing the exact same thing, potentially facing the same fate. But the calming words from Patrick were enough to bring her back and help center her again.
この岩じゃない。これはただの石だ。初代の武器がこんなところにあったなんて。よし、これならいける。あとは。
I absolutely love the foreshadowing. After stumbling upon an ancient weapon of the pioneers, SpongeBob makes a quick little mention of perhaps this weapon will come in handy at some point in the future, hinting at perhaps Season 2 following the Mrs. Puff arc, or maybe even unleashing the goofy goober within. There's really no telling yet. Maybe even in this episode he uses his ripped pants special move. The possibilities are limitless. All we know now is maybe The Rock will play a role in that at some point.
なんでここに
イカルド
ミカエクラリネットもマジ
クラリネットだったら怪我が治ったらすぐにでも。
あれ
After retrieving the syringe from Bubble Bass, Squidward takes a devastating blow and unfortunately meets his end right in front of SpongeBob. You can feel the heartbreak. You can actually tangibly taste it, even smell it. roaming from jellyfish fields right to your fucking nostrils through the computer. This is the powerful kind of animation and voice acting you would expect from something like the SpongeBob anime, and it really sells it. I gotta be honest, when I first saw it, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't tearing up. It really is a powerful scene, and, well, it just causes SpongeBob to snap.
どんなに頑張ってもお前はあの時ピクルスを忘れて客に品を出しちまった救いようのないコックなんだよ仲間一人救えないお前は名前をサクセスのやつからフェールドの F に変えた方がいいんじゃないかなあフポンジボブ
黙れつってんだよクソが
God, it just gets you hype as fuck, makes me want to fucking toss over my own desk and take a piss or something. It's just so extreme. Seeing SpongeBob finally have enough of Bubble Bass's ridicule about how he couldn't make him a Krabby Patty with pickles on it, and how Squidward died because he was too weak. SpongeBob injects himself with the formula that Squidward gave his life to get back, and then he fucking dials in. The formula combining with the curse of the hash-slinging slasher has SpongeBob finally awaken and finally activate his Sharingan, allowing him to achieve a mastery of karate that he never thought possible. If that's not one of the best fight scenes of the 2020 anime season, then I just don't know what the fuck is. Absolutely stellar. I love the crescendo of music. I love the shredding on the guitar from fucking Buckethead or whoever's shredding on that bad boy for the SpongeBob anime. It's just incredible. Everything works together so beautifully. It's lovely to look at. I do, however, wish there was a little bit more. I would have liked to see a bit more of Bubble Bass's power since we didn't get to see a whole lot of it. He did, however, just fucking blast Squidward and kill him in one shot. So it does give you a bit of a gauge, but I would have liked to see a bit more from Bubble Bass. I'm sure he had a ton of other moves, but I imagine just given this being the first arc, they didn't want to dedicate too much to showing off Bubble Bass, and just wanted to show off more how extreme SpongeBob can be. And SpongeBob popped the fuck off, as you would expect. SpongeBob's always been one of the most powerful characters in anime. Typically the debate goes, who's stronger, God, One Punch Man, or SpongeBob? And SpongeBob is always very close to taking that one. So I love seeing him just unleash it all right here, put it all on the line, after seeing his best friend just get destroyed right in front of him, using the secret formula. It's just everything worked together so beautifully here for this fight. And that's where the Bubble Bass arc comes to its satisfying conclusion. Narmak absolutely fucking crushed it here with this, and it makes me extremely happy to see all of that hard work being rewarded. He said it took him around 6 months to make this. He has actual professional voice actors here doing it. It's just an incredible job all around. And to see his channel really start to blow up from it, and seeing the incredible support on this video in particular, is extremely nice to see, because hard work like this I absolutely think deserves to be rewarded, and it is fantastic. So really hats off to Narmak and everyone that worked on the project. It's really fucking good, and I loved watching it. And yeah, just keep up the good work. That's about it. See ya.